Hello everyone, welcome to English Literature. Today's poem, My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das. This poem is, as the title suggests, this poem has a very deep meaning and it is related to mother. Mothers play a very important role in a child's life. So let us read the poem and find out the role of a mother in a person's life and why is this poem so important? My mother at 66. Does it have to do only with age or has it got some other meaning? Let us read and find out. Let us know something about the poetess. Kamala Das, also known as Madhavikutty, also known as Kamala Suraya. She was born on 31st of March 1934, Punayurkulam, Thrissur district, Kerala. She died on 31st of May 2009 at the age of 75 in Pune. Spouse Madhav Das, married from 1949 to 1992. Children Madhav Das Nalapat, Jayasurya Das, Chinnan Das. Parents, she was born to Balamani Amma and V.M. Nair. She wrote many books. Her autobiography in English, My Story, her autobiography in Malayalam, Ente Katha. The Old Playhouse, A Doll for the Child Prostitute, these are some of her famous works. She got many awards, the Sahitya Academy Award for English Poetry, the Kerala Sahitya Academy Award for her short stories in Malayalam, the Asian Poetry Prize, the Ezhuthachan Award. She was also nominated for the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1984. Kamala Das was an achiever. Introduction to the poem. My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das was published in her collection Summer in Calcutta, which was released in 1965. It is considered to be an autobiographical poem as it reflects her personal experience and observation as she drives her aging mother to the airport. Theme of the poem, My Mother at 66, is a poem that explores the universal theme of aging, mortality, and the complex emotions of a daughter facing her mother's advancing years and the fear of separation. It beautifully captures the poet's internal conflict as she confronts her mother's frailty and the inevitability of death. The poem deals with mother, love for parents, the fear of losing one's parents, here the mother, because of age, because of the mortality, because of the emotional bonding. The poem has great influence on generations. It's time we read the poem. Before that, it's very important to know that the poem covers universal theme. It is applicable to all. This poem beautifully portrays mother-daughter relation. It deals with the love we have for our parents and the fear of losing them. Let's see the poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, dozed, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away, and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. Let's read the poem again. Driving from my parents' home to Kochi last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, dozed, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away, and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. It's time to see the poem in details. Driving from my parents' home to Kochi last Friday morning. As you can see in the picture, we have a lady sitting beside an old woman. We can imagine it to be Kamala Das with her mother. It's a very personal poem. Driving from my parents' home to Kochi last Friday morning. So Kochi is now known as Kochi, which is located in the state of Kerala. So the poem begins with a note where it is shown that the poet is driving towards the airport with her mother in a car. I saw my mother beside me. While driving, she suddenly looked at her mother. Now we'll have a description of the mother, how she looked. I saw my mother beside me, dozed, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. The description says that the mother is no longer beautiful. She has aged. She is dozing, half asleep. The mouth is open and face has shrunken like that of a dead body. And suddenly there was a realization. The poetess feels that she is very old. She is no longer the young mother that had given her birth. She is no longer strong. The youth is lost. She is turning old, very old. But all of a sudden she shifted her thought from mother towards the outside scenery. Though I saw my mother beside me, dozed, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away, and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. As you can see in this picture, a lady looking outside the window. So from her mother's thought, suddenly she reflected to the outside world. When she looked out of the window, she saw trees moving fast, and there were children spilling out. Everything was fresh. Youth was there. The trees were running. The children were playing around. That is just when her thoughts diverted from the look of her mother towards outside. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache. So while she got out of the car, she went towards the airport, and she was at the security check undergoing all the processes, and she turned. She looked at her mother, who was maybe near the car or sitting inside, and she was pale as late winter's moon, which probably shows decrease in brightness, stillness, showing melancholy, and also symbolizing the end of a circle, or where you see something fading. So I looked again at her, wan, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache. She suddenly felt that familiar, known fear, my childhood's fear. So the childhood fear of losing our parents. She felt it, and it was very strong. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. So there was sudden realization that the mother is turning old, very old, very, very old, and she may not last long. That is everyone's fear, especially when you are a child. But she did not show her fear to the mother. Instead, she gave a smile and said, "Mama, I'll come soon, see you soon." And she says, "Amma, all I did was smile and smile and smile." So saying, "See you soon, Amma," she smiled and smiled, gave a beautiful smile, and probably left. Let's see some of the word meanings. Doze, nap. Ashen, pale. Corpse, dead body. Spilling, let out. Sprinting, moving fast. Wan, fading or weak. Pale, dull or dim or colorless. Let's go through some of the literary devices used in the poem. First, we come across the rhyming scheme. This poem is written in blank verse or free verse. It follows no particular rhyming pattern. The poem is in single stanza. Assonance, the repetition of vowel sound. In the two examples given here, we see the prominent sound of O. Home to coaching last Friday morning. Doze, open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. See, the sound of O gets repeated again and again. Consonance is a repetition of consonant sound in close proximity within words. Not necessarily at the beginning, it can be within a word or at the end of words. Example, put that thought away and looked out at young. In the above example, the sound of T is prominent. Then, that she was old as she looked but soon. In the above example, the sound of S is prominent. Simile, comparison using the term like or as. For example, pale as late winter's moon. The poet's mother's face has been compared to the late winter's moon. Secondly, face ashen like that of a corpse. The color of a person's face is compared to that of a corpse. We have imagery. It is the visual description of any literary work. Trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. In the above example, the description of children playing and sprinting trees is given. As you read the poem, you can imagine the things going on right in front of your eyes. Your senses work. Repetition, words or sometimes phrases are repeated within a poem to create emphasis, rhythm, or a sense of unity. For example, all I did was smile and smile and smile. See, the word smile has been repeated thrice. Symbolism, it is the use of symbols, could be a person, word or object to represent another thing or idea. For example, winter's moon is a symbol of decay. Alliteration, consonant sounds are repeated at the beginning of words in close succession. In the above example, you can see the sound of S is prominent. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." That was all about some of the literary devices used in the poem. For any other details or doubts, you can click on the comment section. Thank you very much